Hey guys, I'm Ray.
And I'm Jason.
And we are going boondocking again, believe it or not. We're actually going by ourselves this time.
First time by ourselves.
First time by ourselves, for sure.
Scary.
It is a little scary, especially because the place that we picked it because it said it had some cell service, but it only had one review on Campendium, so we'll see. It's actually in an area where if it doesn't work out, we hopefully can get in a couple campgrounds around the area. We're going to be heading out to the middle of nowhere in Tecopa,
Shoshone, pretty much the Nevada side exit of Death Valley.
Yes.
Or it might be California.
We are crossing into California. Yeah. I saw that on the map. But yes, right on or close to the California-Nevada state line. So we also did something for the very first time that we've never done before. We took the rig and we went to Walmart. We ran out of time yesterday and we didn't get to go grocery shopping. We were too busy getting the rig ready to go boondocking. So we are in Walmart right now. We just grabbed some groceries so that we wouldn't starve in the desert and we'd have a couple meals so we can actually get out there and set up and not have to leave immediately to the grocery store. I don't know, that was an interesting experience. How'd you feel driving the rig through the Walmart parking lot?
So of course we missed the turn and we had to drive across the front of the Walmart, which I don't like doing just with a truck or in any car because I feel like it's always just a kerfuffle.
Yes.
But it wasn't bad. I think people saw the huge rig more than just the truck, so most people stopped and got out of the way. And then we did find a nice wide open area to the side, so that was really nice. We were able to park over here and take up, 12 spots because we have a huge RV for some reason.
Yes.
And it was quite easy.
We're also pretty scared. It's only 60 degrees outside right now. However, because the sun is just beating down on you, it heats up pretty quickly. So we actually left the car running and we locked it with my keys and we left one of our cell phones in here and we FaceTimed so we could keep an eye on Carmen and make sure that no one was breaking into the truck.
Yeah, and the AC was up, obviously.
So that's why we left the car on. But then that made us scared that someone was going to steal our stuff because all they'd have to do is break the window and like the car keys are in it and they could steal our entire lives.
Yeah, everything we own. They can have it all. All for Carmen, just like everything else we do.
Exactly. So we left the dog on FaceTime and we ran into the Walmart. So it was probably the quickest shopping experience we've ever done, but we did it and now we're sitting here sweating because we turned off the air conditioner to film this because the AC noise is horrible for audio. Anyway, so I guess we're good to go.
Yeah, now we got that first out of the way. First time Walmart. Let's go find our first boondocking site by ourselves.
Woo! And also excuse this crazy hair. This is moving day here. All right.
Wish us luck.
Let's go. So we've changed our minds. We don't want to boondock here anymore. We got down here and there's zero cell service, which is bad because we can't stay here for the week then because of Jason's work.
We were thinking of staying here for the weekend.
yeah, so then we're like, okay, let's stay for the weekend. And then as we drive in, we see like all these sheriff cars and like all these porta potties. And then there's this sign that says like event weekend, like be prepared for heavy traffic. And we don't know exactly what's going on, but we're kind of guessing it's the Baker to what town?
Shoshone.
Shoshone. So Baker to Shoshone run. We'd be on that main road getting to Death Valley. So even if we did stay for the weekend, we want to go spend time in Death Valley National Park, and we wouldn't be able to do that because they're closing down the roads and it's going to be heavy traffic when it is open. So none of this sounds appealing to us. So we're actually turning around in this boondocking area, and we're going to go find another boondocking area a little further south in Baker. So I guess that's what's good about boondocking, is if you don't like the vibe or what's going on, you can just leave and go somewhere else. So we're gonna back up, try and turn around this big girl and get back on the main road. All right, guys, change of plans again.
Making lemonade out of lemons, right?
Yeah, that's the saying. Obviously, we are hooked up to electrical in a small RV park, so we're not boondocking. So we had a very small change of plans. We left that boondocking spot. It took us forever to get out of there, so we changed our minds. We didn't want to drive to Baker, so we ended up starting to drive down the road, and then we saw like RV Hot Springs, and we figured, why not?
RV Hot Springs?
And what's this place called?
Oh, RV, RV Park and Hot Springs.
Yeah, but I thought like the whole place was called like RV Hot Springs.
I think it's called Tecopa RV Park and Hot Springs.
Okay, it doesn't matter what the place is called. We stopped here because they had hot springs, and that was a big reason I wanted to even come to this area. So that's where we are. We're gonna stay here for 2 nights. We just drove in, asked if they had availability. I think it's safe to say that they do. So right when we parked the RV, one of these bicyclists came up, and they were like, do you have a YouTube channel? And we were like, yeah. And they were like, this is a really weird place for you guys to be. And we feel the exact same way, but it worked out perfectly. So let's start heading towards the hot springs. Basically, this place has 4 private hot springs on site. I do find it kind of pricey. It is $30 per person per day. So because we're staying 2 nights, we're paying $120. We also don't have any cell phone service, but how we're spinning this is like a little mini vacay for us, because we have been go, go, go. So not having cell service and being forced into this like hot water area is just gonna be nothing but relaxation.
Also, literally the only thing to do here is there's a brewery right down the road, and there's hot springs, and we have no cell service. So for the next 2 days, we won't be working because we can't.
Yeah.
And we'll just be soaking, relaxing, and
hanging at the brewery.
Yeah.
I'm really loving this vibe. It's so different.
Yeah.
So let's see if one of these private hot springs are available, and let's show you that part. So we chose pool number 2. So the way you use these is you have the room for 30 minutes. It's a private room, and they have, this is the hot spring water flowing in. This is where it flows out. So it's constantly flowing, and it's taken right from the spring. So you just get 100% hot spring water. So this is really cool. I can't wait to get in. Oh, and the last thing she told us was the 4 different pools range from 101 to 104. So I have no idea which is which. So what do you think?
Yeah, it's closer to the 104 range.
Oh, gonna be hot. All right, they recommend that you go without clothes, so you are not allowed to see the rest. I know you're all disappointed. You wanted to see Jason in his birthday suit. All right, guys, just to provide a quick update, we did go out to dinner at the brewery last night.
Someone set off their car alarm in their car. I don't know how they literally just pulled up and set off their car alarm. Anyway, we did go to the brewery down the street from our RV park last night, and it was also a unique experience. You could tell it was someone's house, and they converted the back of it to a brewery and a restaurant, like in an industrial, like stainless steel, because you could kind of see it from the front. And then the front of the house still looked like a house, yeah, but that's where you ate. It was pretty cool. When we first walked in, it was very quiet, and I feel like everyone stared at us, so it felt more of like a really local place. I actually felt like we accidentally walked into someone's home. Yeah. The food was good, and then once we actually sat down, like, people started talking again, so it was like one really weird moment of like, yeah, are we supposed to be here? I feel like that is only fitting for how this like weekend is playing out. Yep. Today we are going to Death Valley National Park, and on our way we just stopped and got gas, and we're sitting in a town called Shoshone, and this town is very different as well. Like, it's like your typical middle of the desert towns. Yeah, and it's actually really busy right now. I don't know if we talked about the Baker to Vegas run. Mm-hmm. So it's like a relay race with all the law enforcement. And so it's coming right through. So this is a big staging area for a lot of these helpers. Mm-hmm. So you have like all these motorcyclists who are going to be going up and down the relay race and like all their thick leathers, but then they're like helping out the race. Yeah, they look like a gang, but they're like helping out all the cops running. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I guess that's that. We just want to give a quick update of the town and the vibe, and like, oh, one other thing I wanted to mention is I already knew this, but not having it has made me realize I am severely addicted to my phone. And we were actually like really productive this morning. Normally I get up and I scroll on my phone, or I check like what's been going on with our YouTube comments and stuff like that. So it feels so weird to be like disconnected. I have like a little panic of like, oh great, this will be the weekend. Like someone desperately needs to get a hold of me. I pick up my phone and I look at it, and then it's like I can't do anything with it. It's a weird habit to realize how many times you pick up your phone and look at it a day. I feel like this morning we got ready really fast by accident because I woke up, I couldn't look at anything on my phone, so I actually just got out of bed, I got my coffee, I started getting ready, we went to the hot tubs again the hot springs again this morning, and then we were ready to go. Already had breakfast in the car by like 10:30 a.m., which is huge for us. Yeah. To actually start our day that early. So not having our phones has been great, and it's also like been a little weird. So just wanted to give an update on that as well. So are we ready? All right, now we're heading to Death Valley, or Death Valley National Park. Mm-hmm. So let's go see what's there. Okay. So we've made it into Death Valley. Yay! We are heading to the visitor center because, as you know, we like to usually start our day off there. But we stopped by Zabriskie Point because it looked busy, lots of people. Usually means there's something cool here to see.
Yeah, and there was. It's a cool overlook with a lot of different landscape in one viewpoint.
It was really awesome. Zabriskie is like the old vice president of the borax mining company, which, according to the signs up there, looks like they owned a bunch of this land here, and as borax mining became less profitable, they put an inn out here that was kind of successful, and then they pushed to turn this into a national park, which ultimately they were successful. Good job, borax. Good job, Zabriskie. Nice point.
Yeah.
And now on to the visitor center.
Alright, so we did a quick little stop at the sand dunes. I didn't even know Death Valley had sand dunes, so thanks for the ranger for that one. It is now 77 degrees outside, which normally sounds like a perfect day, but out here, no. You can like physically feel the sun beating down on you, and just that 10-degree difference from when we got here and it was 67 to now later in the afternoon being 77, you can really like feel those 10 degrees.
Yeah, absolutely. Without the wind, I think we'd be sweating up a storm.
Yeah, we actually didn't go too far out into the sand dunes. Obviously you can see they go really far back. However, we are not in proper attire, and walking in sand right now just doesn't sound very fun. So we are moving on to the next part of the park that we want to see, which is called
Badwater Basin?
Badwater Basin.
Hooray. Alright, we made it to this awesome canyon. We didn't quite make it to Badwater Basin yet.
Not yet.
We saw this canyon. It's called, look at it, it's way up there. Golden Canyon.
Golden
Canyon. And we saw a coyote, which was really cool. So that's that.
So this canyon actually looks like a really fun hike. Once again, not the proper apparel and probably not the best time of day to be doing something like this.
Yeah.
So
late afternoon is a little hot.
Yeah, last time we checked the temperature, it is now 81 degrees. So we are making sure to stay hydrated, and we are definitely not wandering out too far. Sticking mostly to the car and the scenic route today. But we are now on our way to Badwater Basin unless we see something else that catches our attention. All right, we didn't make it very far down the road before we got distracted again. So we were admiring the mountains from afar and how colorful they were. And then there is a loop road in here. It's a one-way loop, and the map doesn't say, but we think it's 5 to 9 miles. And it is called Artist's Palette. So, there's a woman taking selfies. I don't know if I got that or not. But this loop is called Artist's Palette, and we get to go in the mountains, so you can't really see behind us, but it was all flat. And now, look at what we're driving into. We made it to Badwater Basin and we wanted to walk all the way out there and vlog. However, it is so windy. There was no way of that happening. We didn't even walk all the way out.
It was like rude wind. Like it was like coming from underneath and like lifting up our shirts and stuff.
Yes. There were some tourists that got more than they bargained for today. They got a little show out there, I'll tell you that much, because this is a very loose shirt.
Like a sail.
Yeah. So it was really cool. There is some water right up at the front here, and I was reading on the sign that this area is called Badwater because there was a surveyor out here way back when they were getting the land mapped and everything, and his mule wouldn't drink this water, and so he just wrote on the map Badwater and the name stuck. But they also have on the cliffs behind us a sign that says sea level. That's really cool. It gives you this like awesome perspective of how far, I think it's 282 feet.
I think so.
Yeah, below sea level this area is. So it's really cool.
Yeah, the lowest point in North America.
Yeah, now we can say we've officially been there. Another bucket list item.
Done. The most southern point in the United States and the lowest point in North America.
Yeah.
All right.
He's referencing Hawaii, by the way, just in case you didn't watch our Hawaii vlog.
You should go watch it now.
We went to the most southern point. Anyway, so I feel like I'm gonna do what we always do when we come to national parks, and that will be forget to tell you stuff. So we're just gonna take our drive home. It's gonna be probably an hour. So we're gonna take this drive to think about what we probably forgot to tell you, and we'll talk to you when we're back at the RV. All right, guys, weird change of scenery behind us here. Got a lot of hot hair going on. Oh, there's Carmen. So we just wanted to give you a quick update of what has been happening. Yesterday, wrapped up our time at Death Valley National Park, drove back to the RV, and decided that we were going to drive to Alabama Hills in California to do our boondocking. Had a spot, you know, all picked out, did all this research, hit the road. We decided to take a longer way around instead of taking the RV through Death Valley, because we talked to a park ranger yesterday and they said that there's one part of the road that's pretty steep and pretty windy, and so they wouldn't recommend it. So we got in the car today. I look taller than Jason, but we're sitting on a rock. I just realized that probably looked really weird. Anyway, so we got in the car, we got all packed up, we took another dip in the hot springs, like had a great morning, and then we hit traffic on the 15, which we should have known better being native Californians, because it's Vegas traffic on a Sunday. So that's where we messed up.
Yeah, people going from Vegas back home to Los Angeles.
Yes, on their weekend trips to Vegas.
We've stuck in it many times.
Yes, because we used to do that. So we should have known better. Anyway, so we sat in that traffic for a while. We were almost on the 395, and it was a one-lane freeway, and it just came to a standstill. And we watched the little GPS tracker go like, oh, plus 6 minutes, plus 10 minutes, plus 15 minutes. And we ended up sitting there for about an hour. And we have no idea why, because by the time we started driving, we didn't see an accident. We didn't see anything. So that added a couple hours to our trip. We were in the car today total, I think 7 hours.
Yeah, it was a long day.
As you can see, the sun is setting right over these mountains, like it just went down. And on Campendium for Alabama Hills, people recommend to not try and go there at night. Do not try and find a boondocking spot in the dark, which obviously we wouldn't want to do anyway. That's just asking for problems, yeah. Especially with our luck. So we found an RV park. This is called Boulder Creek RV. It's right off the 395 and it's only 5 miles away from where we want to boondock. So we're actually going to go scout in the morning because that is a smart thing to do. And then we'll go out there. So anyway, long-winded story to basically just say we moved. We wanted to show you this RV park because it's pretty cute, and then yeah, we'll tell you our tips and tricks about Death Valley. So here's the RV park. So that's the campground that we're spending the night in. They also have a jacuzzi, but we did not film that because I always feel weird filming people when they're in the pool. It feels like a very creepy thing to do.
At least we didn't share that footage with you guys. We keep that jacuzzi footage to ourselves.
What? I just said that. Oh, you're making it even creepier. Like we do film people in a jacuzzi. Oh my goodness.
We don't film people in a jacuzzi.
No. So moving on to some Death Valley tips before we forget. Definitely go to the visitors center. I know we recommend that everywhere we go, but I feel like this is one park that you really have to. I feel like at the different stops there isn't a lot of information about Death Valley and like how it was formed, and normally there's like a lot of plaques there when you go to national parks, but I noticed there were not a lot because normally I like to read them and then pretend that I know stuff and tell you guys about it, and I had a really hard time doing that in this vlog. Personally, I think my favorite part of Death Valley was Artist Drive. I think I messed it up when I described it when we were actually in the park. The drive, the 8 mile or 9 mile, 5 mile loop, we still never figured that out, is called Artist Drive. And then when there's one part of the rocks that are just really colorful, that is called Artist Palette. So that whole drive, that loop was, I think, my favorite part.
I think my favorite was Badwater Basin and just looking up on the cliff and seeing sea level and just picturing like, you know, if all of those mountains suddenly fell down and the sea rushed in, how far under we would be.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just really interesting.
But definitely, speaking of water, bring a lot of water, because even though we were here during what is technically the winter months still, it was hot, and that heat really beats down on you. It's dry heat, and if you're from the East Coast and you're not used to dry heat, then you're probably not gonna love it. It will get you. It will dehydrate you, and it'll make you very fatigued. So definitely bring water no matter what time of year you're going.
Sunscreen. Don't forget to apply sunscreen. I'm pretty sure my driving left arm got a little bit of a tan.
Yes.
Just from the sun beating through the window. You don't have cell service out there in the majority of the park. Verizon, AT&T, nothing. So you have to be pretty self-sufficient, so just be aware. Make sure you have the water in the car in case of a breakdown. Some way to signal someone. So whether you have road flares or those like light up LED flares that we have, just something.
The only part of the park that did have very limited service was at the visitors center, which also had a restaurant and a hotel. So there's one part right in the middle that does have service, and that's also where you can get gas, you know, get rehydrated and get some food if you need to. There is camping. They have some dry camping, and they also have some full hookup spots. Was it full hookups actually?
They have like 20 full hookup spots.
Okay. Some of those spots you can book. I think the full hookup spots you can book ahead, and then the other sites are first come, first serve. When we were there, I don't know why we didn't ask, but they had a little campground map, and 2 of the campgrounds were closed and the other 2 were full. So if you are going to go, I would probably suggest go early so you can get first come, first serve, or try and book early if you're a planner. I feel like this is a really weird vlog, and we kind of went all over the place because we were like, we're boondocking, oh no, we're camping, oh, we're in the middle of nowhere, we might get murdered, oh, this is really fun and unique, to now, oh, we're gonna go boondocking again. So this vlog has come in a weird way full circle. This is also definitely an RVing experience if you don't have reservations and you don't, you know, move campground to campground, which we're trying to do less of. And now that we're comfortable documenting our mistakes, we're totally fine sharing this kind of stuff. This like weird planning, no planning thing kind of happens, and you have to really roll with it and go with the flow. So you're just gonna roll with us, I guess. This video, frankly, is just getting too long, so we are going to end out this vlog here and start again tomorrow. So you'll just have to watch next week to see how our attempt at boondocking round 2 by ourselves goes. So thanks for coming along with us. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and we'll get back to you. Otherwise, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to join our Getaway gang, because we'd love to have you on our weird little adventures. We'll see you next time.
Bye guys. Making lemonade out of lemons, right?
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah. Orangeade out of oranges?
Yeah, so we...
Oranges isn't a thing, is it?
I don't know.
Okay,
Orangeade? Sure. Oh. How is that?
Oh, I got 3 scoops for the price of 2.
3 scoops. Oh, okay, cool. I'll just stay over here.
Perfect. Feel like I zoomed in or something. Oh Jesus, don't do that.
Alright guys, we made it to... Oh, I'll spit in my mouth there.
Oops.